It's just begging to be discovered. Sit back and relax as Ray Tucker and longtime journalist Brian Hendricks explore our magnificent state with this week's edition of Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Brought to you by Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Wow, what weather we got here. This is what we all want. Now, I say that, and I don't have much of a voice because I was outside yesterday working in my art studio with the door open, whatever, and I don't have a voice. I've eaten enough pollen. I don't know what we did to get this, but we've got an iconic figure on the line with us, Mark Davis. And in all my years in broadcasting, Mark's one of the first superstars in bass fishing I remember. Mark, how are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, you, Ryan?
Good to talk to you. It's been a long time, Mark Davis. And for those that don't know, the Red Crest Bass Fishing Championship is coming up this week in Huntsville, Alabama at Lake Guntersville. And Mark Davis, who is a former Bassmaster Classic champion, Angler of the Year. Was that once or twice, Mark?
3-time Angler of the Year. Only won the Classic one time.
And now he's on the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour, and he's going to be competing in the field at Lake Guntersville for the top prize in that circuit. And you know, you've been around a long time, and you're still right up there at the top, Mark. How do you maintain that kind of consistency over a 40-some-odd year career?
Well, I'll tell you, my fishing game has changed a lot. I'm 61, and I don't do it the way I used to. But you find a way. You know, you have to fish smart and slow down and just keep finding fish. Finding fish is the main thing. If you can find them, I can't catch them as fast as some of these young guys anymore. But if you catch good ones and stay on them, you can stay right there with them.
There was a question that came to my mind as I came into the studio tonight. That, you know, over the course of your career with bass and other circuits that you fish and everything, you've been to Guntersville. How many times would you say?
At least a dozen. And you know, as a funny side note, there was a time I almost moved my family over here, and the good Lord knew that I did not need to do that, and it did not happen.
Yeah,
and I'm so thankful that it didn't. But I do love Guntersville, not as much now as I used to, and the only reason why this lake is so popular, there's so many fishermen here, it's really crowded, and the fact that I love Lake Ouachita and all of the state of Arkansas, and I'm glad I didn't move over here. That was probably 12, 15 years ago, but yeah, I fish Guntersville a lot, and I do like the lake.
So you've come up, you know, straddled that live imaging sonar era. Have you learned anything about the lake that you didn't know in previous years using that? Has it taught you anything?
I honestly haven't used it over here this trip. The fish are spawning for the most part, and they're really scattered, and they're really shallow. And they're, you know, if we were here just a couple of weeks ago, it would have been front and center, you know, the forward facing. But and I'm not saying it's not going to play a role in this event. It probably will, but enough of the fish have really pushed up in the shallow water to where I don't think it's going to be a big player. But you know, I say that it'll be one. It seems like every event is one using it, with the exception of, you know, maybe when we're in Florida. And the reason it doesn't win in Florida is because, you know, the fish are shallow. And so I don't know. You know, there may, you know, all these bass don't spawn at the same time. I'm sure there's still some waiting to go in. They're still pre-spawning, and the guys that target those fish using that forward-facing sonar, they could be really hard to beat.
Is shallow water fishing your forte or not?
It's really not. I like to catch one any way I can catch it, but you know, I grew up fishing on Ouachita, so you know, it's primarily deep fishing. But you know, I'm looking back at my career. You know, you learn to fish every way. You know, from shallow to deep, light line, heavy line, and everything in between. So, Yeah, I do like fishing for spawning bass. I'm not so much on the sight fishing thing, actually visually catching them off a bed. And that's a slow, I don't think that's going to be the way to win this event either, because it takes too long oftentimes. If you fish for a 5 bass limit, it's great because you can target some big females that are sitting on the bed. But with every fish counts, you've got to catch them fast. You've got to figure out a way. And that's been my problem in practice. I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself, but catching plenty of fish, quality fish. But I don't know if what I found the previous 2 days, today included, I don't know that I'm going to be able to catch enough fish fast enough to keep pace.
How has Guntersville changed from now since, Randy Howell won the Classic over there, a good few years ago?
Well, the lake is primarily eelgrass now, and Guntersville's always been a grass lake. It's Tennessee River impoundment, a lot of shallow water, very fertile. And I think one of the things that makes this lake hold up as well as it does over the years, it's always had a tremendous population of bass. It stays a constant level. So you don't have low water in the spring where you have a kind of a bad spawn, so to speak. The lake remains pretty much, it's got about a foot fluctuation, and it's always got grass. And when those fish spawn, they've got plenty of cover. When the little ones hatch, the fry, they have cover, and they don't all get gobbled up by bluegill and things like that. So this lake just keeps cranking out bass, and that's what makes it so popular. But as far as the lake itself, other than that grass, years ago it was all the milfoil. And then we had a mixture here of milfoil and hydrilla. And now it's primarily eelgrass, which is an aggravating grass to fish because it has a real shallow root system, and it turns loose and it floats on top. And it's like trying to fish with a bunch of little ribbons floating out there on the water. So if you're trying to crank bait or spinner bait or something like that, your line's constantly catching in that stuff. Of course, the wind will move it, wind will push it out of the way. And it looks like we're going to have some wind there in the event. But that's really about the only thing that's really changed in this lake is the grass.
In that way, it's almost like fishing Lake Toho or Okeechobee, except it's not as shallow.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's a lot like fishing in Florida. This lake, especially when they're up spawning, it's a lot like fishing a Florida fishery.
Do you think the Florida guys might have a little bit of an edge? Just being familiar with fishing that kind of cover, even though the depths are different.
Well, they may. Of course, the Lane brothers, Chris, he lives here at Guntersville now, and Bobby, he made this event as well. He qualified, so you got to. Though Chris has lived on Lake Guntersville for a number of years, he learned how to fish in Florida, and he's a really good angler over here. And I'm not familiar with how many guys from Florida are actually in this thing, but those two right there come to mind. They're hard to beat anywhere we go, but they'll be hard to beat here for sure.
Ryan, that's what you call a home field advantage, no doubt.
Well, it's like Mark said. Everybody that's in this tournament is going to be hard to beat. There's not any dead weight. When you get to this level, everybody that's in that has earned it, and you can't be surprised when anybody wins it. And I won't be surprised if Mark Davis wins it.
Yeah, things are going to have to change for me. I've got one more day to practice, and I fished the majority of the day today fishing without a hook.
You know what? I set you up for a long ball, Mark, and we're going to take a break. Hold that thought. Okay. We'll come back to it.
Yep.
You set the hook again, Brian Henry.
I did.
Back with more in just a moment.
Ray Tucker is Arkansas Outdoors.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
It's a tough time, injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
The Bet Saracen Sportsbook app has just made three-point shots even more exciting. During the big tournament, the 3-Point Palooza will earn you sportsbook bonus cash. Place at least a $30 straight money line bet, and if your team wins, you'll score $3 sportsbook bonus cash for every three-pointer they make during the game. Opt in for the 3-Point Palooza on the Bet Saracen promo page. Download the most popular sportsbook app in Arkansas on all your devices right now. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make W's Convenience Stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest W's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, W's has them. Want more than a snack? Many W's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches. W's, where you gas it, grab it, and go. When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray, or stop by 65th and University.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey. Check out the new location of Bell & Sword in Conway. Suits, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor-on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Welcome back to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, coming to you live from our Honda of North Little Rock studios. Our special guest, Mark Davis.
Mark Davis, let's talk a little perspective here. How long have you been fishing professionally?
This is my 39th year.
So you're one of the people that have been around a long, long time. The other Arkansans in the field are Spencer Sheffield, who is the son of somebody that you fished against competitively for many, many years. And then we have Dylan Hayes, who's a relative newcomer. How does it feel to be, to be that sustained and perform at that high level and be competing against the kids of people that you competed with back, in the day?
Well, I tell you, if you ask my body that question, I've had all kinds of trouble. Joint surgeries. I've had 3 shoulder surgeries, an elbow surgery, a hip replaced, a neck fused, and all of it's from fishing. And so I've got a lot of wear and tear on me, but strangely enough, I can remember when I was that kid that was out here.
Yeah.
And fishing this lake, and just a kid, and just in awe of this fishery, and here, 39 years down the road, and I'm still able to do it, and you said it right. They're kids to me, and these kids are really, really good with that forward facing. And you mentioned Spencer; he's one of the best at it, and I just don't like it. I mean, you could say, well, it's hard to teach an old dog a new trick or whatever, but I love it for crappie fishing. But tournament fishing, I guess when I get out there on the water, I just don't like to look at that thing. But it's it's been a lot of fun over these 39 years. It's hard to believe that time flies. It's been that long.
When we talk about sports, there's always a favorite somewhere. Is there a front runner going into this event?
I don't know. I had to give it a lot of thought. I don't, there's several guys from Guntersville in this event, and some of them I don't even know. But, the guys that are on the tour, on the regular tour, they let some guys in from the other tours that are just below the Bass Pro Tours that, the top ranking guys in here. And there's a bunch of guys, I think there's 6 or 7 that live within a 20-mile radius of the lake right here. They call this lake their home. So I'm sure all those guys have a lot of high expectations. But more times than not, that home lake thing bites you in the tail. I mean, sometimes it works if the fish aren't biting good. It's tough. Things like that home lake advantage can help you, but if the fish are biting, more times than not, it doesn't help.
You like this format?
I do like the format. It's tough. I fish slow and methodically. It's hard because the forward facing, and we already talked about that. Don't know whether it's going to play a big role in this event or not, but with forward facing and every fish counts, it's real hard to keep pace fishing traditionally. And I don't use it. I use it very, very little. Now, I incorporate it into what I'm doing, but as far as just going out there in open water and turning that thing on and staring at the screen all day, that's not the way I fish. And that's, you've got to be, for it to really work, you've got to be all in. You've got to do it 100%. And there's a bunch of these guys, these younger fishermen that are really, really good at it. And it's kind of sad to me because they're so fixed on that screen. A big old bald eagle may swoop down and grab a fish, out there 100 yards from it. It'd be the most beautiful sight you've ever seen. They won't even see it because they're so fixed on that screen. But, to each his own.
Well, real quick here, the setbacks that you've mentioned, the surgeries and the repetitive injuries and all that, other than the money, the obvious, what would it mean to you personally to win this tournament, win another world championship?
And it would mean the world. I mean, it's been a while since I've won, quite too long. And, I had a second here just a few weeks back, and Bobby Lane, a wind knocked me out there when I had the lead, and everything was going good. It looked like I was going to win. The wind got up blowing 40 miles an hour, and it just ruined my area, and Bobby beat me in a finish second. And so to win one at my age, especially a tournament of this magnitude, it would just be icing on the cake. In fact, I would probably check it to them next year, and you found me over on Lake Ouachita crappie fishing.
Well, we can't imagine you being anywhere other than Ketchum Lane and Mount Ida, Arkansas. So we're glad that you changed your mind to move over there because we need you here, buddy.
We're going to stay right where we're at.
All right. Well, Mark Davis, it has been a real thrill and an honor to have you on here. Red Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. I will see you next week as I'll be there. Look forward to talking to you in that winner's circle, Mark.
Thanks, Ray and Brian. Thanks, both of you.
All right. He is one of the legends. And I've had the pleasure of knowing Cochran, the General Larry Nixon, Ron Sheffield, a bunch of them come through here. And for the longest, this state produced some of the top anglers over and over and over. it would thrill me to have one of our guys win this baby.
He's in good shape to do it. You know, if anybody can, he can. He's been there. He's done it before. Pulling for him, one of the good guys in the sport too. You know, just want Mark to do well all the time.
All right, the pollinator lady, Leslie Cooper, joins us next. Always a delight to have her in the studio with us. She is a ball of fire, I promise that, folks. Back with more in just a moment.
When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
This is Anthony Lucas, here to tell you about my favorite spot in Little Rock, Corky's. Sure, Corky's may look all ribs and barbecue on the outside, but did you know Corky's was also nominated for Central Arkansas's best catfish? And don't get me started on their chicken, shrimp, and nachos.
Those Big Joe burgers, Anthony.
Big Joe, when did you get here?
You really stealing my thunder, Anthony. Corky's is my place.
No way you love Corky's like me, Joe.
Talk to me when you have your own menu item, Lucas.
Corky's ribs and barbecue. I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
March Mania is in full swing at Gwatney Buick GMC, and their biggest sale of the year is in a full court press. 2024 GMC Canyons discounted $5,000 off MSRP. 2025 Sierra 3/4 ton diesel Denali with $8,000 off MSRP. Call 501-945-4444. Power forward with Buick. 2025 Enclave or 2024 Envision with $5,000 discounted off MSRP. Score even bigger on 2025 Encore with an unheard of $6,000 off MSRP. New Hummers at 0%. The competition's crying foul because Gwatney Buick GMC will not be beat during March Mania. 501-945-4444. Gwatney Buick GMC, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Stock numbers 30810, 30614, 30318, 30605, 30465.
Loyalty. It's a big word for Family Market, and we mean it. That's why our loyalty card, also known as our rewards card, same thing, folks, lets you save 5 cents a gallon every time you fill up at any of our 4 locations. Grab a large fountain drink or a fresh cup of community coffee, that's another 5 cents off a gallon. And on Big Mondays, mid-grade gas costs the same as regular. Yep, you heard me right. Family Market. Keeping it simple and saving you money in Shannon Hills, Malvern, Pangburn, and now Mayflower. Just off I-40. Stop by today. Your wallet will thank you.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Welcome back to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Time to talk to Neil Atkinson with Sarasota Resort down in Pine Bluff. Neil, we're down to the Final Four. We got college baseball, we got NBA, Major League Baseball. Still a busy time for you.
Absolutely. It doesn't seem like it ever is going to slow down. I know it will at some point, but right now it doesn't feel like it. You know, don't even forget, we've got the NCAA women's tournament. We've got a big UFC fight coming up this weekend that will be actually showing at Saracen Casino. So check that out if you're not doing anything this weekend. But, yeah, a lot going on in the sports betting world, and we're just covering all, including Arkansas baseball tomorrow against Grambling.
So what is the line on that, baby?
Don't have it out yet. It will be out in the morning, but those midweek games are kind of hard to put out real early because there's such a difference between SEC play and the midweek games.
Any fun prop bets that jump out as far as the Final Four is concerned?
You know, there are just so many of them. I just like the one I like that is intriguing to me is who out of all of the teams that are left are going to be the top point scorer for the Final Four. So right now, Walter Clayton with Florida is the favorite at plus 275, and probably the fan favorite from whoever's left in the tournament would be that Cooper Flagg, and he's at plus 325. And then there's the rest of the players there that you can pick from the long shots.
Neil, always a pleasure to visit with you. Thanks for taking time, and we will talk to you again next week, okay?
All right, good luck on all your parlays, everybody, and have fun out there.
All right, download the app, betsaracen.com. All right, we got a caller here. We wanted to make a comment about Mark Davis. Let me do all the shifting around here and make sure I don't cut anybody off. And here we go. This is Chris in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Chris, how are you?
Yes, sir. Hi, Ray. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. I'm Mark Davis fished a Walmart FLW Tour tournament out of Lake Ferguson in Greenville, Mississippi. I was back in high school, and I'm 47 now. So David Fritz actually won that tournament, but we got to meet Mark, and I tell you what, he's an amazing guy. Dennis Demo was a guy that worked for Ranger that was kind of right up under Forest Wood. My dad was good friends with him, so we actually had one of Dennis's last boats that I still ride in. But I tell you what, the FLW was kind of the kickoff of the elite. And I tell you what, the fishing they do is just, I've fished my whole life, bass tournament fished a lot. My dad fished a couple of FLWs, but they're on a whole different league.
And I'll tell you what, you're one of many fans that Mark Davis has, and we appreciate you listening to our show over in Clarksdale, Mississippi. I grew up in Helena, so I know right where you are, okay?
Yes, my mom's from Helena, so.
All right, Chris, have a good evening. Appreciate it.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we are visiting with the one and only Leslie Cooper. And tell us your title.
The crowd goes wild. Here we go. Hey.
Oh, boy. Well, buckle in. So my name's Leslie Cooper. I'm the Arkansas Monarch and Pollinator Coordinator with Quail Forever in Arkansas. And I'm always so happy to have, when Ray calls me and sees if I want to be on the show.
Well, tell us, it's April, almost. Tomorrow will be April's, and it's springtime. Ray still doesn't want to admit it. He's convinced there's still another snow coming, but it's not happening.
I am not convinced of that. I am not. Have you seen how many potted plants I have at my house? You would not say that.
So what are people ought to be doing right now? We got butterflies coming in. What should people be doing to make them welcome here, and why should they?
Well, so one of the best things that you can do to benefit the butterflies and bees that we have here in Arkansas is planting Arkansas native plants. I know I sound like a broken record, but a lot of people don't realize what, plants are actually native to Arkansas because, we're so used to seeing, just different blooming species, the tulips, the daffodils, the, Queen Anne's lace, the goodness gracious, the awful Bradford pears that are good for nothing.
Ooh, they stink.
Oh, they stink. And people just don't understand that, these plants aren't native to Arkansas. It's not what our pollinators need. And it just is heartbreaking. I was actually in a meeting earlier, and I was helping this local school. They're putting together a pollinator garden, and some of the teachers are so excited. And one of them mentioned how excited she was about the wisteria that she had in her backyard, and my heart broke into a million pieces. And I know that some people think they're pretty and it smells nice and everything, but it just takes over everything, and it chokes out our native species, just like those Bradford pears. So I really, really encourage people to, check out some of the native plants that we have in here in Arkansas. And in fact, if you go to the Quail Forever in Arkansas Facebook page, we do a series every Friday. It's Forb Friday, so Wildflower Friday, if you will. And you can really see the diversity of native blooming plants that we have here in Arkansas. And, why that's important? It's to benefit our pollinators. 1 in 3 bites of food can be attributed back to pollination. So we need to start taking care of our pollinators because they definitely take care of us.
And, it's like if you do that right, that's kind of a symbol of doing everything right on a greater scale. It's like if you do this right, then it's right for songbirds, it's right for quail, it's right for turkeys, it's right for deer. So you're kind of starting on the ground. Isn't that just great, right? Starting on the ground level.
Literally starting on the ground. Yes.
He is such a wordsmith, isn't he?
Oh, yes. I know. I mean, that's why he's the author, isn't it? Well, plants are the foundation of life. They are what everything else relies on. So, maybe you won't have a bobwhite in your garden, but definitely if you're a landowner who, has something a little bit bigger and you're interested in doing some really great habitat restoration because you're a big fan of turkeys, because you're a big fan of deer or quail, and you just want to listen to them whistle again. There's a lot of resources out there that a lot of people don't realize are free and available to private landowners in the state. So, reach out to your local NRCS office, reach out to your county foresters, and just see what options are available to you. Arkansas Game and Fish also has private lands biologists. Quail Forever has farm bill biologists that are more than happy to talk to you about your conservation goals on your property.
All right, I hit you up each time we visit. I get excited if I see a bumblebee, a honeybee, if I see a frog in my garden. I want to see more of that, and we've done a horrible job in making sure they hang around.
I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy and I sound like a broken record, but the best thing you can do to support wildlife in your own backyard is planting native plants. And remember, the goal is that you want to provide a diversity of native blooming plants that bloom throughout the growing season. So we want things, it's Arkansas. Things bloom in like February here. I'm from Idaho, so that's why it's so weird to me.
Nothing's blooming there yet.
I know. No, I think it snowed. My parents told me, and I was like, maybe Arkansas isn't too bad. But wait until I'm huddled in my closet when the first storm comes through. But
so pale purple coneflower. Name some other things that people can do.
Pale purple coneflower is a great one. It's one of my personal favorites. Butterfly milkweed is bright orange. You see it on the roadsides. It's also one of the host plants for the monarch butterfly.
Now, this is not stuff we can go get at Lowe's or Home Depot or a nursery, right?
Well, there are some native nurseries that are in central Arkansas. You can check out the big box stores, but, you never know where those plants are from, how they were treated. So I really recommend, especially if you're in central Arkansas, you're a little bit spoiled. But there are definitely, plants available all across the state. But if you are local, the Little Rock Audubon Center is having their native plant sale. They have one in the spring and in the fall. Their online ordering opens April 8th at 8 a.m. And then you can order those plants and pick up on the 25th and the 26th. So maybe you're a little bit further away. You can schedule a little day trip to come pick up your plants. And also we're doing a Bringing Nature to Your Yard event at the Children's Library in Little Rock on May 10th. And also, don't forget the pollinator month is June. So there's events that are popping up all over the state. I really recommend either following the Quail Forever in Arkansas Facebook page. We have events all across the state, all through June, celebrating Pollinator Month. And then, of course, the Arkansas Monarch Conservation Partnership Facebook page.
One quick question. How is milkweed compatible with dogs and cats?
So different species have different toxicity levels. Definitely do your research. If you have an adventurous pup or cat, maybe not planting a giant patch of it would, maybe not be the best thing. But I have a dog and she's never, really shown interest in that. And she's been okay for several years.
All right, your Facebook page again?
Quail Forever in Arkansas and the Arkansas Monarch Conservation Partnership.
You are so good at what you do, young lady. Always great to see you.
Oh, please.
Thank you for coming in.
Hopefully folks will take notice. All right, back with another guest right after this. Thanks for listening.
When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
When you're out and about in the natural state, whether it's work or play, be sure to make W's Convenience Stores your one-stop shop. With 34 locations in central Arkansas, they're easy to find. Headed to the lake or just taking in the beauty of Arkansas? Stop in at your nearest W's location. Their double blend of coffee is always hot and fresh. Snacks, W's has them. Want more than a snack? Many W's have hot delis. And don't forget the hot breakfast sandwiches. W's, where you gas it, grab it, and go.
When you've got the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, watching the big tournament gets even more exciting. Get into the buzzer beater multiplier at the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app. Opt in on the promo page, place a straight bet of at least $25 on any game in the big tournament, and then sit back and hope for a buzzer beater, because if there is one, you'll get a $10 free bet. More people use the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app than all the others in Arkansas. Download it today on all your devices. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Arkansas. Becoming a member of Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union just got easier and a whole lot more exciting. If you live, work, worship, or go to school in 15 central Arkansas counties, you're eligible to join the credit union that puts you first. This summer, an auto loan deal is coming around so good, I can't even say the rate just yet, but trust me, it's big. So if you've been dreaming about a new ride, now's the time to get ready. Check out eligibility and see if you are in one of these counties at alcoacommunityfcu.org. Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Megan Williams with the Associated Builders and Contractors of Arkansas. We're excited to bring back Build My Future Central Arkansas April 3rd at the Conway Expo Center for a hands-on, interactive construction industry showcase like no other. Our thanks to our sponsors and exhibitors who make this exciting event possible. We appreciate the schools and educators who've registered hundreds of students. Your commitment to hands-on career exploration is helping shape the future of the skilled trades. For more details, visit buildmyfuture-centralarkansas.com.
Tune in to Out of Bounds each Monday for Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years, they're your small to mid-sized fleet specialists that also takes care of our fleet at Signal Media. Fleet Management Services is now hiring for Loop Tech, Tire Tech, and Light Maintenance. 8 paid holidays and paid vacation, paid health insurance, and 401k. Pay depends on experience and signing bonus. Apply in person at 901 East 8th Street in Little Rock.
When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Well, we tried to warn folks that Leslie was a ball of fire, did we not?
Yeah, and she still had a long way to go. There was some questions that came in over more suggestions on what to plant, and there's a bunch. If you go to that website that she was talking about, there's lots of items that you can choose from there to plant yourself a butterfly garden, or just do whatever you want to do to improve native plants on your property. But right now we're going up to Bull Shoals Lake, and we're going to visit with Del Colvin, who fishes Bull Shoals and Lake Norfolk, and you probably read about him if you get the Game and Fish Commission's fishing report every week. Del is often quoted there, and so we welcome you, Del Colvin, to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
Thanks for having me tonight.
So I guess it's a little bit cooler up there where you are, but what's going on up on that great big reservoir that you love to fish?
Oh, it's about to pop off. I think everyone's just kind of in a holding pattern. I think they got in the forecast about 10 inches of rain coming between Wednesday and Sunday. Of course, Bull Shoals Lake, it's one of those that it can fluctuate 20, 30, 40 feet in a year's time. So it's fishing good, and we kind of needed the rain up here because everything's been dry.
One of the great things about Bull Shoals, it's as far as diversity, it's right up there with Lake Ouachita as far as what all you can get there. There's stripers in it. I think, does the Game and Fish still stock trout up in there near the dam like they used to do?
I think they quit feeding the walleyes. Stripers a couple years back.
So it's one of the best walleye fisheries in the country. You got white bass there. You got Kentucky bass and largemouth bass and smallmouth bass, and big too. Everything up there seems like it's big. It's just a great place to go.
Yeah, it's a great fishery. I'm pretty blessed to be working on it for the last going on 16 years. I had to think about that for a sec. But no, it's I kind of welcome the change in water level, because if the lake stayed the same level, I think it might get a little boring for me. The lake itself, there's a lot of water on Bull Shoals Lake. It's about 48,000 acres, and the dam. I live in the town of Bull Shoals, and towards the dam, the water can be really clear, which is great for the smallmouth love the clear water typically, and then you can go 86 miles up the lake and fish pretty much the river coming in from Table Rock. We got Beaver and Table Rock dump into Bull Shoals, so yeah, it's got a lot to offer for sure. The whites are going now, so everyone's out chasing the whites, and the walleyes are up, so there's guys going out every evening trying to get a few walleyes in the boat. It's a fun time of year.
Dale, do you have many people from Central Arkansas come up your way?
Yes, of course. It's a little tough, being just the location where Bull Shoals at. They got to drive past, either Ouachita or Greer, and that. It's always tough for someone to pass up other lakes, but that's what makes it good too, because there's not 10 million people on the lake as of yet. I say that as of yet because whatever direction folks are coming from, they're coming from the east. They got to go drive past Norfolk Lake. If they're coming from the north, they're not going to drive past Table Rock. And now, same thing on the other side. We got Beaver Lake and all that, so. It's kind of one of those that you got to drive a little bit more to get a little bit more if you're into fishing and just kind of getting away from the big crowd. Still, I hate to say that on the radio, but I kind of like the word that. But I think more people really should get in and enjoy the area because there's not too many places left. It does have that Ouachita feel when you get on the water. There's not a whole lot of boats around most of the time, and it's big.
It's huge, and there's not a lot of shoreline development there too. Since the last time I fished there, it's a place where you can get out and pretty much feel like you're by yourself.
Yeah, and there are still some places where you will be by yourself, and there's no cell service and all that. So, yeah, it's kind of one of the few places left that are like that, so to speak.
A question that I've always had is, water that comes out of Power Sight down there at the end of Taneycomo. Does anybody ever fish up there much? And if they do, what are they fishing for?
Yeah, it can be a hot spot, depending on the time of the year. Wintertime could be, the trout will actually come down from there a little bit, and the water being cold in the wintertime. But the stripers will migrate up there throughout the year. The walleyes they'll move up there, in that river section. They'll move up and spawn up there. So a lot of the guys will go up there for walleyes. And in the summer, that cooler water coming in, a lot of fish will migrate up there if there's water coming in. And it's kind of, that bite can be determined by how much water Table Rock generates out of their dam. So you're kind of driven by that. But that's a little ways away from where I'm at, but I do go up there sometimes in the summertime and enjoy it. It's pretty much like you're river fishing once you're up there.
There's a lot to really like up there. I know that the stripers were put in there by the Missouri Department of Conservation, and that was pretty controversial. Is that something that the fishermen welcomed all around?
There's mixed reviews on it, This year was probably, I saw, the most heavily condensed population down on this end of the lake. And it can be a little, don't get me wrong, they're great, they're fun to catch. I'm just concerned about overpopulation with competing for species. They're eating the shad. As a bass guy, I catch walleye and crappie and everything else that goes with it. And then these guys come in and they can take over the show pretty quick. Which, depending on who you got in the boat, some guys, have never caught a striper, and someone catches a 30-pound fish. That's the biggest one they've ever caught. That's a good experience. My main concern was just the regulation on the stocking. Because there's some great fisheries. Norfolk is just loaded with stripers, and right now with the numbers that they're at, I'm guessing that it's gonna produce another state, another record fish out of there within the next 5 years. Someone's gonna get one just from. I caught 2 in the 40-pound range this year, and one of my customers, he's like, I've never caught a 40-pounder. So, yeah, with what's there now, I think they're well on their way to having, great numbers. And if they left it where it's at right now, there's plenty of them in there that they're gonna achieve what they're trying to do, and that is to create a world-class fish. So.
We're going to take us a little break here. Del Colvin, can you stay with us and take it to the end with us?
Yeah.
All right. Come back and join us with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors on the other side of the break. Thank you for joining us now.
The name says it all, and you'll find Honda's best models at Honda of North Little Rock, as they're your one-stop destination for quality motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides. If you have a passion for adventure, head on over to Honda of North Little Rock, as they cater to both thrill seekers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you're hitting the trails, cruising the roads, or exploring rugged terrain, we'll find the perfect ride for you. Nothing matches Honda's power, reliability, and innovation. Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
It's a tough time, injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
March Mania is in full swing at Gwatney Buick GMC, and their biggest sale of the year is in a full court press. 2024 GMC Canyons discounted $5,000 off MSRP. 2025 Sierra 3/4 ton diesel Denali with $8,000 off MSRP. Call 501-945-4444. Power Forward with Buick 2025 Enclave or 2024 Envision with $5,000 discounted off MSRP. Score even bigger on 2025 Encore with an unheard of $6,000 off MSRP. New Hummers at 0%. The competition's crying foul because Gwatney Buick GMC will not be beat during March Mania. 501-945-4444. Gwatney Buick GMC. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC. We are professional grade. Some vehicles require qualifying trade-in. All offers with approved credit. Stock numbers 30810, 30614, 30318, 30605, 30465.
Hi, this is Joe Klein, former Razorback and owner of Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
And I'm Anthony Lucas, also a proud former Razorback and Corky's Barbecue regular customer.
We may represent different sports in different decades, but all generations of hogs agree.
Corky's is the only place to get the most delicious ribs and barbecue at a winning price.
So stop into Corky's now and every day for never-ending specials.
Corky's,
where the hogs come home, baby.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
They say you never get a second chance to make a first impression, and that's your home and your business. So if your business needs a touch-up, call CertaPro Painters and let them handle the job for you. They provide excellent workmanship, quality, and a worry-free process for both residential and commercial spaces, all at the right price. You've got to focus on your business. Let them focus on your painting. Schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Get your estimate scheduled today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Is your yard ready for whatever Mother Nature throws your way? At Acadi's Touch Landscaping, we make sure it is. Whether it's weatherizing your flower beds for the seasons ahead, building strong retaining walls to prevent erosion, or installing French drains to keep water where it belongs, we've got you covered. And when it's time to elevate your outdoor space, we build custom decks perfect for relaxing or entertaining. Call 501-794-2770 to transform your yard into a space you love, rain or shine. Acadi's Touch Landscaping, 501-794-2770, where we bring the green to your life.
When was the last time you went exploring in Arkansas? More importantly, when was the last time you went exploring the natural state on a Honda from Honda of North Little Rock? There are hundreds of miles of trails and back roads to discover. So if you have a passion for adventure, we have just the perfect Honda for you. Our new showroom is just that, as we show off Honda's best models of ATVs, motorcycles, and side-by-sides. We'll find you the perfect ride. Stop in today at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
And we're back with Ray Tucker.
Yes, we are.
Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. And we're visiting with Del Colvin, fishing guide up on Bull Shoals Lake. And before we go any further, Del, tell people how to get in touch with you and tell us about your guide service.
Oh, I've got the website set up, DelColvinFishing.com, and I got the socials on Instagram and Facebook and all that good stuff. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me, just DelColvinFishing.com.
And a half day and a full day trip with you. Tell us about the details of that, what it costs, what all it entails.
Yeah, a half day and a full day. You walk on the boat with me. You don't have to worry about bringing rods or, you bring your license, you bring your lunch if it's a full day, and you just go fishing. Pretty much half day rate's about $400 and $600 for a full day. And that's 8 hours on the water. You got me for 8 hours.
So, do you like up there? Do you like windy, gray skies, or do you like what's the perfect conditions for you to be Well, take us through the species. What kind of weather do you like for what species?
Well, being that it's April, pretty much April, May, when they're up, moving up on there, it's, you almost can't go wrong on April, May. Everyone starts catching them, dragging something. Of course, they're going to be spawning. The lake being real clear, you always want to, there's times where visibility can be 25, 30 foot. So a little bit of cloud cover and a little bit of wind goes a long way. Of course, we got some extreme conditions coming, but that's usually when they're going to bite. I'm not saying go out fishing a lightning storm or tornado coming, but usually, before this front came in, I took a father-son trip out, and the fish they just went nuts there for a little while, which is always fun.
What kind of boat do you fish out of?
I've been running Bass Cat. I'm running the Caracal, so it's I'm running Garmin. I've got the Motor Guide on there, all the latest and greatest stuff. So a lot of guys buy the stuff and they want to learn how to do a lot of the video game stuff, and that's kind of being a deep, clear lake. There's a lot of that happens there. Most of the guys that come fish here from other parts of the country, their boat's usually sitting on where the fish are at a lot of the time, other than the spawn. But yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Where's that 815 area code from? You came down from somewhere else. Where was that?
Oh yeah, well the last one was up in Illinois. I ran a guide shop up there for ducks and geese, and then I've lived in Phoenix. I got my big bass when I lived out in Phoenix. So New York, St. Louis, I've always had kin down here, and I finally made the move down about 16 years ago. So I'm not moving anymore.
A lot of us grew up wanting to be bass fishermen. We started out fishing for brim and little catfish, and then we move over to bass. Will there ever be a big craze for walleye for people? That's what they're going to go for?
For walleye, you said?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's a, fortunately enough, I love bass fishing. I love teaching people how to bass fish, and I do catch a bunch of walleye. And don't get me wrong, if I see them and we catch one, we might go catch a limit. Do I go out and chase them? There's a couple guys that do that, and I'm pretty fortunate, because there's a handful of guys that are out there, almost every day throughout the season, and one does crappie and one does walleye, and I kind of do bass. Bull soles being what it is, you could float around a little bit, but I always say be wary of the guy that can do everything, because he's probably not good at one or the other, unless the fishing's just good all the way around. Like, that's one of the other things with, walleye is phenomenal. The numbers in Bull Soles Lake are just great. I kind of work a little bit with, Game and Fish, the biologist, and Bull Soles has a healthy population of walleye right now, and there's no better fish to eat than a walleye or crappie. Last week I helped my buddy Randy, the crappie guy. He's got Crappie 101, and Bill Dance come down and did another show on bulls, so we'll probably get a little shot in the arm for some crappie business. So always interesting, it's out of the spotlight and it's out of the way, but, after the show, I'm sure we're going to see a little more crappie fishermen on bull, because it's, big fish, they caught several fish over 2 pounds, and same with the walleye, I fished my whole life, and my wife caught a 14-pound walleye out of there. It was the biggest one I ever seen out of Bull Shoals.
Well, we've been visiting with Del Colvin of DelColvinFishing.com. Look him up on the internet, book a trip, go enjoy Bull Shoals Lake, and thank you for joining us on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.